Hi. There's a story in Joshua chapter 7 about a time when, the story, a lot of people have heard it, about the battle at Jericho. And remember, God gave a tremendous victory to his people through Joshua and the armies of the Lord. They went in, and if you remember, the walls dropped and they marched over them and they conquered the city of Jericho. Well, Joshua gave some instructions to the people, and he had told them that they needed to destroy everything in the city, except they needed to take the silver and the gold, and that was going to be consecrated for the Lord. So there were things that were going to be destroyed, and then there were going to be things that were consecrated or set apart or not for them to keep, but put aside for the Lord's use. And when they went in, they had a tremendous victory in Jericho. Well, we go on and read the story, and a little bit later, they have a little bit of a defeat somewhere else. And the Lord reveals that one of the soldiers named Achan, um, he had taken some things from the battle at Jericho and had taken them for himself and hidden them in his own dwelling place. And what he had taken was a Babylonian garment, and he had taken gold and silver. Now, what's interesting about that is the Babylonian garment, it was very, very beautiful. And it says that's why he took it. But it was one of the things that were to be destroyed. And the gold and the silver was supposed to go to the Lord. And so we learned here the Lord doesn't want us to keep something that he wants us to destroy, or take something that's supposed to be for the Lord and own it and take it away from being used by the Lord. Achan got in big trouble, and he and his household, they all died as a result of this. And what's interesting also is that the Babylonian garment and the gold and the silver were ruined. They got burnt up too, because it was contaminated. The gold and the silver had been defiled, and it wasn't even able to be used for the Lord anymore. Well, the very next battle after that was the Battle of Ai, when they had successfully conquered it. And during that battle, the Lord said that they could keep anything they wanted, all the soldiers. So Achan just rested ahead of the Lord. It was a time not to get spoils from the battle, and there was a time to get spoils from the battle. We have to know that we are soldiers, and we don't fight in this battle for what we can take for ourselves. We need to not be distracted by this world, but focus on the battle at hand. Sometimes there's spoils God has for us, and sometimes there aren't. But we need to really follow what he says and not, like Achan, hide something. Finally, I wanted to share that it says in the scriptures in Joshua 7 that he took the silver and it was hidden even lower. He buried in his dwelling place the garment, the gold, and deeper was the silver. And so even when we might have things that the Lord needs to deal with in our heart, we might have that silver.